Hi everybody. I'm just filming this on my phone because I've been watching some videos. We've got a video. I've been watching some videos of YouTubers and talking about size and clothing sizes and the whole fashion industry, especially specifically to do with goth fashion. But I just want to jump on the bandwagon a bit. I am of the same opinion that the variant of sizes in women's clothing, men's to a much lesser degree, but women's especially, is ridiculous. So I'm in the UK. I'm Australian, but I'm in the UK. And UK and Australian sizes are very similar. They're probably one size different. So Australia is a size bigger. So in Australia, I'm what? I can't remember now. Anyway, so in England, depending on the store I go to, I can be anywhere from a 14 to a 16. And that is in the hips a euro 42 to 44, depending again on the fabric, the cut, the design, and the brand. I'm also with my tops because I've got big shoulders. I'm tall. I'm 5'9.5", and well, 5'9". We'll say 5'9", the half, whatever. But yeah, I'm about 5'9". I have wide shoulders and I have a long torso and I have quite long legs. So I find a lot of, I usually can't wear an off the rack over bust corset because if I want the waist position to be in the right spot, the boobs are it's like under my boobs. If I want them in the boob spot, the waist is sitting at my lower ribs, which is just, anyway. So I have lost a lot of weight and I've done that through keto and I will do a post on it sometime. But I've lost 4 stone, which is a lot of weight. And so now I'm a 14 to 16 and I never quite know exactly what size I am. So I have to go in and try stuff. So I can't buy a lot of stuff online. Most of the goth brands, it's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but I guess it's because maybe they're being made in Asian countries where sizings are much, much smaller because their general population is much, much smaller. And that's fine, but if you're marketing it to a European, English, Australian, American market, I'm tired, sorry guys, then maybe you should look at what the average sizes are of those countries. And I know that might mean that selling your garments, you either have to put new labels on to say that this is a different sizing to when you sell them in Asian stores, or maybe when you get them made in your Asian countries, you actually should say, we want them from this size to this size, which are these measurements to these measurements, which equates to this in yours. Okay, yes, we don't want your XS or S. We want to start our sizings for Europe at what your sizings would be of a medium or a large. And I'm not saying that there's not a lot of slim, tiny people out there that need an American 0 or an English size 4 or 6. But there's also a hell of a lot of us out here that like to wear non-muumuus. We like to wear fitted clothing, and this is why I think the vintage style just kicked right off, because suddenly you were getting wonderful brands like Hell Bunny and Collective that were making fitted clothes with a waist showing off the cleavage, showing off the figure, right up to a 22 or 24 UK size. So I'm one of these tricky sizes now. I'm sort of at the top end of the normal sizes. I'm too slim now. Hooray! What? Woe is me. I'm too slim to wear the plus sizes. But when I wore the plus sizes were good of certain brands. Other brands, I know even at this weight, which I have lost a lot of weight, and I'm now at a weight that I feel happy with, I'd like to tone up a bit, tone up the soft, flabby underbelly, so to speak, or not so to speak. But I feel quite happy with the weight I am and where I'm carrying the weight. And while I can sew, I'm lucky in that I am crafty and I can make things. It's nice to be able to go to a shop or hop online and buy something. Just buy it. Just have someone else make it. It's so nice. And because of that, I've lost weight. I know I'm doing well. I know I'm managing it, and I know I'm looking pretty damn good. And yet I still have to, in certain brands, look at the plus size or completely dismiss that brand because they are not inclusive of all sizes. So I have been a size 20, 22, and got up to a 24 back in Australia. That's a big girl. And I wasn't happy with myself, and that's why I chose to lose the weight, because I wasn't happy the weight I was. I felt heavy, I felt unproductive, and I felt unattractive. So I chose to lose the weight, and I don't think you should choose to be forced to lose the weight unless it's for really major health problems. So it's up to you to lose the weight. I chose to lose the weight. So now I'm at a slimmer weight. I don't want to get any skinnier, because then I'll lose this and then I'll just look like a wrinkly person, and I don't personally want to look like any more wrinkles that I've already got, because I like this and I don't want to, Anyway, also I'm losing my boobs. Harumph. And so I don't want to lose my boobs anymore. I mean, they are just fat bags. So if I could just move the extra fat into the boobs, that'd be good. But anyway, I digress. So clothing. Why do I, when I go into different brands over here, go, okay, in this brand, is it a vanity brand? Can I go to M&S and buy a size 12? But then go to H&M and buy an XXL. And yet when you look at the numerator, like the waist measurement or hip measurement, it's usually a 42 or a 44. It's the same thing. So vanity, why don't we just, as quite a lot of the others have said, just use an actual measurement? A bit like the men's, however the men's are a bit funny now too, because you have tailored fit, regular fit, slim cut fit, and all of those, a slim cut medium will be smaller size than a slim cut or a regular cut medium, which will be different again from a tailored cut medium. So even the guys are having this problem. So yeah, I have to say though, Restyle, I now can get into their clothes. Yeah, and I'm not in the largest size. Yeah, but that shouldn't be, I don't know. It shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case that I get excited that I can try on a brand and think, hey, I've lost all this weight, but now I can just fit into their biggest size. Do you know, that's grr. But then at the same time, they're companies. They're companies that need to make money to keep going, to pay the employees, to pay the people that make the garments, that design the garments, that sell the garments. And there is only so many sizes you can make. But it would be really nice if there was a brand out there that went, there's enough brands out here making size XXL, XSS, like 0 to 6, and making our extra large a size 12. It'd be really nice to see one of these wonderful brands. Necessary Evil is one of the ones that I love. I think they're English. I know Kate's Clothing sell them. Awesome. And they are more inclusive. They're large, and their extra large are actually really a size 16 and an 18, not like some other brands. And I will say it, Punk Rave, they're beautiful clothing, but their XL is a size 12 to 14. I'm sorry, when did an XL be a 14? No. That's all I can say is no. So why don't some of these brands go, not do a plus size range, just do a range. Just do a bunch of sizes from size 0 US or 4 or 6 UK through to size 20 in the same design. The same fabric, the same cut, the same shape, you just make it bigger. And don't just make it bigger by making it wider. For frickin' sake, that pisses me off. I'm tall. If I lost more weight and went to a size in the waist of a 12, which I have been, I'd still have to buy a 16 top or an XL top or a double XL top or whatever because of my shoulders. And yes, I know, as what I said, businesses, and they're trying to make money, so they try to do a generic thing, but it'll be really, really nice. When you get bigger, you don't just get wider. You also get taller. Ha! So the other thing I want to talk about in my little ramble is shoes. So I went into TK Maxx today, which is TJ Maxx or something like that in the US. It's the same thing, T whatever letter, Max with 2 X's. Why do I keep doing, you know what I mean, 2 X's. Oh, I hope that wasn't a gang sign. I'm sure it wasn't. See, Lamort. Anyway, so I went in there and I have a average size foot for a woman. I've got a small size foot for a man, but I've got an average size foot for a woman. It's a size 39 euro. Depending on the style and the width, it might be up to a 40, which is a 6.5 in the UK, which is an 8 in Australia, which is a 8 or 9 in America. Do you see my issue here? So every time I want to go and try on some shoes, or even worse, when I want to go and order a pair of shoes online, do you know what I do? I look at the Euro size. I look at the 39 to 40 range, because you go to 4 or 5 different brands and you will be buying a 6, a 6.5, a 7, and they'll all say they're 39. Now, I'm sorry, but that is crap. And no one's brought this up. They're talking about clothing, but they don't talk about frickin' shoes. So every time I look at shoes, and don't even get me started on trying to try Asian shoe sizes, again, because they're a different cultural size, but a lot of their shoes are coming over here. It's very difficult to find a 39 or 40. It's almost impossible, to be honest, and the sizing is still really, really weird. So getting back to things, I usually work by a Euro size because they seem to be more reliable. So that is a 6 to 6.5 here in the UK, and 39 to 40 depending on the cut. I went in there today and I am looking for a pair of pull-on Chelsea boots, short but stylish, but haven't got a whole pile of stuff. I just want plain black leather. Yes, leather. They last longer. They're not plastic. I'm just going there. Plain black leather pull-on Chelsea boots that I can wear to my new job. Oh, I got a new job. Women's ones, I don't want suede. I don't want plastic. I don't want patent. I just want plain black leather. So I actually go and look in the men's department. I've bought myself a pair of little Oxford brogues for the same thing, and they're from the men's department, because a men's 6 to 6.5 looks really nice. They look quite delicate often. Sometimes they look really chunky and really manly, really sort of boxy or whatever. But I've found some really nice shoes in the men's department because they are a little bit less floofy. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't have as many extra bits, like extra studs or bits of lace or blah, blah, blah. And they're also often a little bit wider in the foot ball. So, like that bit, but on the foot. And I am 5'9". I don't have a tiny foot, but I don't have a very narrow foot. I have a regular medium size width of foot, but sometimes they seem to make the women's shoes so narrow. And then they'll always want to put a heel on them. And then if they don't, they'll put a chunky boot. And yes, I like a chunky flat form and a platform. And I like a heel. But if I'm walking to work, walking home from work and standing around at work, I want something flat. So I don't understand why, and shoe stores out there, shoe especially, because I think you should do this, shoe, why don't you just get rid of the men's and women's section? Because when I go to TK Maxx and go to the women's 6 to 6.5, I'm looking at a €39. I look at the shoes. Then I go to the men's, €39, size 6 to 7, 6 to 6.5. They are $39. They're exactly the same size. Just put them in the same place. That means if I had a boyfriend or a partner that was also a 39, we'd go to the same section. My hubby, he is a 43 or a size 10 or a 9.5 or a 10.5 or sometimes 11, depending on the brand. So he goes to a different section. He should only go to a different section for the size. And that would also reduce any stigma of a woman wearing a man's shoe, like a sexy little Oxford brogue with all the little cut work. And what about a guy wanting to wear a pair of, I don't know, sparkly sequin trainers, or a pair of heels, or a nice pair of boots because you are maybe a slimmer man that has not as big a calf, but you want to wear a sexy female style boot. There shouldn't be male and female shoes. There should just be shoes, and the sizes are what's different. And could you imagine how wonderful it would be to be looking through the clothes and having a guy looking at the clothes and you both reaching for those same pair of heels? I just think it'd be fabulous. So, anyway, I've ranted on for 17 minutes. Clothing, other than making it yourself, which I try to do, or buying things that are a bit baggier and then bringing them in. So I buy things, like sometimes now I buy things a size bigger than I need, so I know I can get the shoulder size and the arm length. Men's clothing are longer sleeved. I have to buy men's clothing because they're longer sleeved. Can we just with the generic stuff, t-shirts, shirts, trousers, maybe not trousers because we have a rounder booty, higher waist, but it's so frustrating. And shoes especially. Shoes, I think, are something that a shoe store out there could definitely you walk in and you go to your size. You don't go to the men's section, you don't go to the women's section. Okay, keep the kids section separate because they are smaller sizes. But don't have a boys and girls section, just have a kids section, which is what they usually do. So why don't we just have an adult section? Come on, shoe companies. Just do that. Don't have a men's and women's on your website. Just have a size. Please. Anyway, my rant is over for the moment. I wonder if it's because I did like reenactment in the past and you had shoes. You didn't have men's and women's shoes. You just had shoes. That worked. You just got the shoe size and in the design and decoration you wanted. You didn't have to have a men's or a women's shoe. Right. Okay, I'm stopping now. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and when you're watching this, night, weekend, year, month. Mwah. I love you all. I'll hopefully load this up. It's a Saturday night, and what else can I say? Okay. Love you all. Bye.